Hello fellow humans and welcome to a new year in World of Tanks Blitz that is already starting off great with the greatest gambling container to ever exist. Isn't that absolutely lovely? Well, no, it's terrible, but anyway. So what do you think is going to happen in Blitz in 2024? Is it going to be better than 2023 or is it going to be much worse? Is there going to be the same amount of terrible new tier 10 tech trees and the same amount of increased and unacceptable amount of gambling? What do you think? Put it down in the comments. But for myself, I decided to lay back a little bit. And what is more laid back than a rear-turreted heavy tank such as the Chrysler K, which is also the vehicle that was in the Christmas event. So there is a lot of these vehicles out there. So you might want to know how to play this thing. And this is a great battle right here by Lucy the Cutie, just how this thing works. Now, obviously, what you need ideally is an enemy team that doesn't know what they're doing, which is about almost every enemy team doesn't know what they're doing. And the most important thing here for something like this is to think about what happens after the shot, right? Most people always just think about how I'm going to get the next shot, how I'm going to get the next piece of damage, but they never think about what is going to happen after they fire that shot and maybe or maybe not done that damage. That is what I see a lot, and that is what I myself enjoy seeing because it's very easy to punish. Some guy peeks out, shoots at me, bounces, and then has no idea what to do next. And that is one of the easiest things to get damage from and to punish because they have no damn clue. Like that type. He's trying to peek out, trying to get shots, but in that moment, he doesn't know the Chrysler's sitting down there, and he catches a shot just for it. And now, after 2 minutes, nothing really happened much, but the Annihilator has now taken initiative and is pushing forward, while the enemy team is also taking initiative and taking out a total of 2 vehicles already. It's going to get quite tricky here. And now, again, look at that. You can't peek the Annihilator because there's possibly tanks on this side, so if you were to peek the Annihilator here, you might be shot from the other side. So great thinking right here. But first of all, look here. Don't ever expose yourself to a side that you can't see and that you might get shot from. But the enemy team is shooting very well here because it's down to 4 and they have now lost their first vehicle right here in the type. Again, he did not think about anything. He tried to get a damage, but he did not think that the Chrysler K is there. He did not think that the Chrysler K can finish him off, and he just ran in there and got himself wrecked. And we're gonna see that again probably in this battle. But what we're first gonna see is that, okay, we saw it right there. The guy peeks out, bounces, and now, does he know that he's gonna die? Maybe. Should he have peeked? No. But he did it anyway. So think about what happens after you shoot and not just during what you shoot at. And now, 3 versus 6. That's not really great. And Lucy's the only one that has a kill so far, and that is gonna continue with another one onto the Annihilator. Again, into the side. Shooting tanks in the side is the most surefire way to get free damage because they don't pay attention, but you do. But now, we're gonna have to really pay attention here. 1 versus 4. T28 is the first one to come up here, and now the enemy team has one mission. Play together. Rush Lucy at the same time. Converge on them at the same moment and not play one by one to allow 1v1s that are easily winnable. And now it seems like that's not what's going to happen here as the T43 goes flanking around the side to open up a different side of attack, because that is very good here because Lucy can't defend against 2 sides at once. But T43 has now gone down. He did overextend. He went too far and the T32 did not push forward enough. And now he is, but what is he doing? He's trying to face-hug a tank that is very good at face-hugging. Again, he didn't go far enough to get the shot when the T43 was attacking, and then he went too far and got himself shot and killed. And the T28 is a very slow vehicle. It did not arrive in time, and now the T32 is dead before the T28 can get off the lethal killing shot. And again, he bounces off. He doesn't think about the consequences of doing that, and now he's been finished off. Because after he fires, he's a sitting duck. Lucy peeks out, finishes him off. Beautiful, done right there. And now the Fat Boy is the only one left alive, the VK168. You look at that, just don't go directly because you're still spotted for 10 seconds. After being unspotted, turn around and go the other way, because nobody is going to think that you do that, because nobody in this game thinks about anything, really. And you can use that. And look at that. The VK-168 is exactly driving in that wrong direction. And now he's reversing out in the open, not thinking, again, wasting the shot straight into the ground, just firing it off, not thinking about what's going to happen, because now he doesn't have a shot. He's out there, and he's helpless, and he has lost the battle. Kolobanov's Rezinai ace on the first day of the year. That is mighty impressive, and a lovely way to break the Chrysler K and overcome the disadvantage of the Ray turret right there. And now we get into a little bit of a different Ray turret heavy tank, the FE-215B with onion sticks right here. Now, it doesn't quite have the armor or the survivability of the Chrysler K, but it does have a much better gun, so this vehicle is a lot harder to play than the Chrysler. Basically, the comparison in tier 10 for the Chrysler is the VK90, essentially. So if you have the VK90 or the Chrysler, tier for tier, they sort of do the same thing. They're really good at side scraping, but obviously they're not the fastest. They have enough mobility, and the guns are fine, basically. Now, this vehicle's gun isn't fine. It's excellent. You got great accuracy, you got great DPM. Well, it used to be better, but then Wargaming decided to make it weird, as always. And it also has great HE rounds, doing 500 average damage. And you don't want to do that. Now, the enemy team here is in a terrible position, because they're in the city, and you don't want to do that, especially as a light tank. Look at that. The Sheridan and the Batchat are both playing from the city. That is the most simple, easiest way to tell that they're not good players. And also a YOLO maneuver like that is that of very skill. Because again, don't just think about when and where to get the next shot. Also think about what's going to happen after that shot and how you can get to the next one without getting shot. Basically, you always want to shoot the enemy without getting shot back. Too many people only think about the I want to do damage part and never think about the I don't want to get shot part. Now, you have to think about that a lot less if you play heavy tanks such as an E100 or a 60 TP, which is why I recommend those to start off with, because you have to think less playing them. But look at that. The M6, he was like, oh, I want to do 1,000 damage, I want to unload my clip. But that he's going to die for that afterwards probably didn't cross his mind. Or maybe it did and he just didn't care. And that is what you can punish yourself, is the carelessness that don't bother what the enemy team is doing after they fired. They're just going to get wrecked. And now here, 571. What you want to do here is not this. Just all three sit in front of him in the same place. This is terrible, because he can very easily defend himself against one place at the same time. And the MX is doing that really well, going around the back. And now the Type has to fight two sides at the same time, where he can't angle his armor towards effectively, and he's going to be absolutely screwed. But I do think the MX is sticking out a bit too much there. It can be shot from the other side. I hope that's not going to be a problem later. And, oh, there's, yep, it's... Yup! Like, what am I supposed to say? Anyway, the Sheridan and the Batchat surprisingly are still alive here, which is just quite impressive from the team to fail at killing those. Especially the Batchat, which YOLO'd through about twice already. And now, it's still a 3v3, so it might still be able to be won right here. But now the Batchat crosses again, HE, and it doesn't work. That's World of Tanks Blitz for you. And now the MX is in a real heap of trouble. He's dead now to the Sheridan. But the Batchat's also dead. Now 2 versus 2. E100 versus E100. But we'll skip a little bit forward because the team's E100 is very E100. And now he's also dead. 6,700 damage. The enemy team being in the city. All of that was not enough to drag this team over the line. Unfortunately, this case, the enemies are somewhat playing together, and 33 hit points is just not going to be enough. But we start off the year with a great triumph, and unfortunately also a great heartbreak. But what do you think? Do you have good hopes for Blitz for 2024? Is it going to be a good year? Is it going to be terrible? Put it down in the comments, and thank you for watching.